Alright, so now we're into episode 21 of LEGO Marvel Superheroes. And today, we're going to the circus. Well, of course, it's not just any kind of circus. This is the kind of circus where something goes horribly wrong. And we have to fix it. And we're going to try to do that with our pals Tony and Eddie, but they're going to get a little bit of help in this one by that guy right there, the Iceman. That's right. We have Tony, we have Eddie, now we have Bobby. And we're going to utilize these guys and a little bit of help from Ghost Rider to take Nightmare out of this circus. So here you can see him, Nightmare controlling things in the beginning, creating skeleton soldiers. The villain of Nightmare I'm not all that familiar with personally, so I can't really tell you much about him. But you can see, some of the things that we possibly have to deal with. You've got Ghost Rider running around the middle of the arena, knocking us over, which is not particularly helpful. And so we're going to bring in Tony, start blowing some stuff up. Because again, this is a Lego game. You blow stuff up to build things. And there's also the shiny silver stuff on that particular box. That slows down Nightmare so we can hit him once. Then he lights all that stuff on fire. I was kind of hoping just to use Venom and Iron Man to get through this, but then with all the stuff on fire, I needed somebody who could take care of the fire. And that meant that I was going to have, I didn't really have much of a choice but to utilize the one character that they give you in this level. And that is Iceman. Of course, you saw in the story that Iceman basically showed up sort of unwanted, where Black Widow and Hawkeye were basically, I guess, on a date. I'm not... And you can tell this is pre-Ultron because during Ultron you discover that Hawkeye's married with kids and Black Widow's interests lie in big and more green directions. In the comic books, the two were sort of together, but the Marvel Cinematic Universe isn't terribly bound to the comic books. Alright, so we run into our first real obstacle here. Now, I talked about the fire being an obstacle, and I am going to bring in Iceman for that, but we're also going to have to bring in one of our other pals to deal with this object right here, and that is the Sorcerer Supreme making his yet another appearance to free Stan Lee from a hat, which means that, yeah, we didn't really need to bring him in at all. And so now here's Iceman. Iceman, one of my favorite X-Men, not because of his characterization, really, just because of his power set. And so here we go. We go fishing, and the little thing gets dragged in to the shark pool. Not sure why Nightmare put sharks in the shark pool, but we freeze the water into a ramp so that Ghost Rider can hit Big Nightmare and force him into somewhere else. So you can see he's hiding over there in that box now. Ghost Rider's fire melts our little ramp. And now we turn things over to Iron Man. Now, Iron Man is a good character to use in this level because, first off, his flying capabilities take a lot of the challenge. A lot of the puzzles set up places for Hawkeye and Black Widow to use their athletic skill, but if you can fly around the map, you really don't have to worry about that. The only problem you've got is that when you try to move Iceman somewhere, obviously he cannot fly around. So what we're going to do is break these boxes down here, and that's going to reveal some studs for us to play with. And after doing a little bit of a carnival game there, we are able to build a trampoline. And that will allow us to get Iceman up to the second level and take care of this fire. And now we can build the second ramp, and Ghost Rider can hit Nightmare for the second time. And then, of course, he can destroy our ramp for the second time. So there we go. So this is the part where it looks like Eddie has gone to the bathroom or something, because he'll disappear for a little while. As I'm trying to figure out how exactly I want to get into this box. Now, the answer to get into this box is that Iceman just aims his ice beam directly at the flames. However, I was sort of stuck in a mode where I thought you had to, you also had to freeze the surface the flame was on. So I tried to do it from up top here, and eventually I gave up on that. And while I went around to some of these other things that aren't necessary unless you're looking for mini kits and things. And again, we've unlocked all the mini kits in this level already. You can see a magnetic box where one would be, so you need Magneto or Polaris to go in there. And so now I'm going to turn things back over to Iceman and just try the direct approach by just hitting the flames themselves with the ice beam as opposed to the floor where the flames are. And you'll notice a couple things as you wander around. This is Captain Britain riding some sort of mechanical bull. I don't know if that's a reference to anything or whatnot. I mean, you can also see Ghost Rider kind of waiting for us to set up yet a third ramp for him to hit things. And so here we go. Iceman go right after those things. Then we can go back to Tony. And this is the only time. And now we actually have a job that we can use Venom for. So we're going to use Venom to pull on that plug. And there's Nightmare in his little car, which he then proceeds to wreck. And so we create a little thing. You can see the Lego cannon sticking straight up into the air. There's actually a little target to activate it, so Venom hits that. And the cannon sets up what would be a place for Hawkeye to put his arrow into the wall and for Black Widow or Hawkeye to jump up to the next level. Now, because we have a flying character, we don't need to do that. So Iron Man can move on to here. I could also have used the heat laser to knock down those trampolines, but they're not necessary. Sorry, not trampolines, trapeze wires. You can see them on the left side here. Okay, and since that little white thing didn't seem to be activating anything, and now I can see why. Actually, that would have been a place for Venom to shoot a rope. But we shoot through the clown's really scary silver teeth, and that results in the releasing of balloons, the setting up of the third motorcycle ramp, and there's Ghost Rider to knock him out one more time, bringing him down to ground level to where we can finish him off. And since we might as well finish him off with the big finale, we transform Venom into his big figure mode and, hit him that way. And so that was our trip to the circus, and we'll continue taking Tony and Eddie to strange places next time, and I'll see you then.